All right, peace to the guys and goddesses, kings and queens, empresses, chiefs, priests of the motherfucking land. Hope you having a great cosmic night or a great cosmic rising, depending on when y'all catch to see this video. I ain't on the camera today. I'm on my phone. I left my camera at home because shit, I ain't know if it was gonna rain today or not. It ain't raining, so I don't know what the fuck happened. But I just wanted to speak on something, from a post I seen today. It's I don't know, bro. It's sad to see people 40, not even, yeah, really 40, 50, 60, 70, bro. Some people be 80 years old, bro, working, jobs like Walmart, jobs like Target, Michaels, what's the TJ Maxx and shit, like, you see, and even some warehouse jobs, bro, is people that's old as fuck that should be retired, bro. And it just goes to show that the world looks at it, I ain't gonna say the world, but the small 1% that controls most of the wealth in the United States, they just see people as disposables, you feel me? And I don't, it's different between generations. Like, we seen recently the dude who burnt down the warehouse because he said they wasn't paying him enough to live, which I ain't gonna lie, I don't blame niggas for what they did. It's like, it's no different than the Luigi nigga that smoked the nigga for he smoked the CEO for United Healthcare. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that whole situation in itself is a different video. Like, it's a lot of things that come into play with the Luigi shit. But the warehouse shit, the nigga that burnt down the warehouse, I think it was in Canada or some shit. It was recently though. And it just goes to show, like, the difference in mentality between two different generations. You got old folks, that never, during their time when they were my age, our ages, 20, 30, or, late teens, like 19, 18, 20, 21, they didn't question shit that was going on. They like I said, they conformed to the system that was being pushed on them, that they didn't take the time to deeply think on like, okay, why is they upping prices on the slow, on the slide, why is the housing market being upped on the slide? Everything just being upped on the slide. And why is the workforce so similar to, like, slavery? You feel me? But it's just, like I said, overall, back to the main topic, I be seeing people old as fuck working jobs, bro, where they should be retired. And it's just sad. It's just sad to see, man, that this world, like veterans, for example, you got motherfuckers, veterans that was in Nam, hell. I was about to say World War II, but that shit old as fuck, nigga. We just gonna say Nam veterans. We got veterans that ain't even being taken care of in the United States, and it just goes to show, like I said, they look at us as disposables, bro. And it's gonna come to a point where they ain't gonna be looking at us like that very soon, with the way, with the way things is going with Gen Z. Because Gen Z, everybody has a breaking point, everybody has a boiling point, and Gen Z boiling point don't take that much to get pushed to where it need to be pushed at. Because we see the things that's happening right now. Niggas is burning down warehouses, and it's only gonna get worse. You're gonna see more of that, and probably even more greater shit. But like I said, all in all, it's just overall sad to see people who are still working jobs where they should just, really, it don't even matter what job it is. Nigga, you're 50, 60, 70 years old. You should be retired, laid back, chilling, so that way you don't speed up your motherfucking death, nigga. You feel me? These niggas that ain't retired, these old people that's not retired, still working these labor demanding jobs, these that require extensive labor. That's the word I'm looking for. These extensive labor jobs, all they doing is just speeding up their death, bro. And it's just sad to see, bro. And I just, I want to bring more awareness to that, to the old folks who's working jobs, these extensive labor jobs where they should be retired, especially warehouse jobs. When I used to work them warehouse jobs, nigga, when I was like 19, 20, between 19 and 22, bro, or 20, no, well, not 22, 19 to like 21, you feel me? I was seeing a lot of old folks, they be like, yeah, I've been here for 30 years. And, some of them be happy about it. And I just be like, bro, there's no way I just don't see myself at a job for 30 fucking years, bro. Like, nigga, if I, nigga, by the 5th year, nigga, I'm already considering retirement. You see what I'm saying? Like, something that can give me, like, I would be trying to figure out something where I could be like, okay, nigga, I'll probably be here at the most 5 years, nigga, and then after that, I need something set up where I don't gotta be here no more, and I could just, you know, nigga making money in his sleep. I mean, that shit is possible. We see niggas do it all the time. But yeah, I just wanted to bring more awareness to that. You know, next time y'all see an old person working a job, just think to yourself like, damn, bro, like, this motherfucker old as hell working this job when they should be retired, bro. And, you know, like, for example, it's a lady I know right now. You know, God bless her soul. That's the best way I can. You know, God, I don't believe God the way these motherfuckers do. You know, God to me is the Mother Earth and, you know, the sun. But, bless her soul, bro. She had a husband who just passed recently. Because, you know, I spoke to her like maybe 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And, you know, she was telling me like, yeah, you know, he back in the hospital again. He been fighting for his, you know, he's been fighting. Bro was fighting cancer for like a year, bro. You know, he had got brain surgery and all that kind of shit. And then, you know, like 3 or 4 days ago, you know, my homie that work at the gas station, she had pulled up there because, you know, he know her too. And he told me, he's like, bro, I got bad news for you. I was like, what happened? He was like, you know, her husband passed. And I was like, damn, you know, husband was a good dude. You know, he worked at, but you know, the thing is, he was old. He worked at a very extensive labor job, Home Depot. You feel me? And I'm like, damn, you know, the age that, you know, her and her husband was at, I'm like, bro, y'all should be retired. You feel me? Y'all should be retired. Y'all should be sitting back chilling. But you know, it's a whole different story with her. You know, some very crazy, you know, shit happened with her. You know, she was a millionaire, and it was some people in the city targeting her that brought her down, bro. And it's a wild story, but I ain't gonna get into it. It's just the fact that, you know, she lost her husband, man, and you know, at the age he was at, you know, working a very extensive labor job like Home Depot, you know. It just speeds up the process, bro. It just speeds up the process. You know what I mean by that. But yeah, you know, I just thought I'd make a video on that. You know, bring more awareness to that. You feel me? You know, we as a society gotta look at this workforce shit. It's already, like, the workforce shit is just a scam in itself. It's no different than the banks being the scam. It's no different than Hollywood being the scam. It's no different than the NBA being the scam. It's no different than voting for a president being the scam. You feel me? You know, you got all these fake ass job postings out here. My generation, you know, we having such a hard time trying to find a job. They talking about, oh yeah, we got plenty of jobs out here. We got millions of jobs. Nigga, 98% of those jobs are ghost jobs. They're fake postings to make the market look good, to make the job market look good. But the unemployment says different, nigga. And nigga, they said like in the next 5 or 10 years, nigga, the unemployment rate will be almost at 98% with this AI shit, because now AI is removing a lot of people. And you know, I did hear some people mention some, you know, I guess you could say some smooth, smart decisions, but there's like, you know, if you want to stay in this shit, you know, niggas need, put it like this, people still need humans to produce AI, coding. You gotta make code, scripts, and all that shit. So niggas is like, you know, go towards the coding, you know, go towards the coding path. Go towards the coding, what's the word I'm looking for? Go towards the coding zone. You know, learning how to code and shit. You know, cybernetics and, you know, learning cybersecurity and shit like that, because those are the type of things that are going to start becoming more prominent, as it's gonna basically be like the new job force. Basically, niggas gonna be working on robots. You know, robots can replace niggas, but at the end of the day, you still need people to make these robots. So it's just like all that in itself, I really don't give a fuck at this point. You feel me? But when it comes to Gen Z, I see a lot of people on YouTube making videos in my generation. You know, they talking about, it's crazy out here. You got some motherfuckers that's jobless right now because they can't get a job. They can't find a job. Niggas put in like a million applications and only get a response from 3 of them. 2 of them is, okay, we'll give you an interview. You go to the interview, then you never hear back from them. And then the other one was a proper rejection. Then the other ones just don't even say shit because they're fake. They're ghost jobs. So, you know, that in itself. And then, you know, with the job force itself, look at the wages, bro. Everything keeps inflating, but the wages ain't even went up. The wages ain't even went up. Think about that, bro. Most entry-level jobs ain't even entry-level. You got jobs talking about you need this kind of experience. How can motherfuckers get the experience if y'all not taking them in to teach them? So like I said, all in all, I'm just bringing awareness to this shit, bro. Like, you know, the workforce shit is just, the whole workforce economy is fucked, and it will be collapsing in probably the next year or two. I don't fuck 5 years and 10 years from now. Shit is speeding up exponentially, just like the solar radiation that's coming in on the planet is increasing exponentially. In the next year or two, life will not be the same, bro. And civil unrest is getting higher and higher and higher. It's going to come to a point we might see a civil war, bro. And I'm not talking about like in the movie where these people and that people and these people got their own sanctions and factions and shit. No. This will be us against the government. Us against these politicians. Us against these... I can't even say the military, because even niggas in the military are now turning on these politicians that control them niggas. Niggas is like, we don't want to fight for these baby leaders no more, bro. We rather fight for the people by killing y'all niggas and getting y'all out the way and rewriting the entire government, rewriting the entire society, rewriting the entire country, bro. That's what it's coming to. But like I said, it's just sad to see these old folks out here. Like, I posted a video on my YouTube page, the shorts. Some of y'all probably seen it. You know, the old nigga worked at 7-Eleven for 50 years. And on his 50-year anniversary, all he got was an email from the CEO with a picture of the CEO saying thank you. That's it. Bro, 50 years, y'all need to cut that nigga at least a $100,000, $500,000 check, nigga. Disposables. That's how they look at us. It don't matter where you at. Niggas can work at a job for so long, bro. Even if you want to go up in the ranks in corporate and shit like that, still, you got motherfuckers that work there so long and still don't get nothing, bro. We make these corporations billions of dollars. I told niggas many times before, all these corporations that we all work at, bro, they have enough money to give you $10,000 checks bi-weekly. They have that type of power, but they don't do that. I don't know, bro. This like I said, this whole world is a cartoon, bro. It's a cartoon. And like I said, it's just getting more unrealistic. I'm starting to think, nigga, this is just one big salvia trip for the human collective, or one big dream for the human collective, but it really ain't, though. It really ain't. So, I appreciate y'all, man. I value y'all. More importantly, y'all stay in tune like always, and I'll be back with another one. One love, make universal love, y'all. I'm out. Blow!